Hi. So I've never done this before, so be kind to me in the comments. I went on Board Game Geek and looked for a video to explain the rules of the game and couldn't find one. So I thought I would do my part and make one. I'll put a link in the description to where I'm playing this so you can try it yourself. So the game is played over a series of rounds depending on how many players you have playing. This is going to be a solo run, so there are going to be 6 rounds. You are the active player, and you're able to choose up to 3 of the 6 dice. And then you are a passive player, where you get to choose one of the dice that was not used by the active player. It works a little bit different in solo, which I will demonstrate for you. So in the first round, we mark this off to show that we're in the first round, and we gain a bonus. This bonus is a reroll. So right here it's tracking how many reroll bonuses I've earned. If I happen to earn this whole row's worth, I'm going to get a bonus just for that as well. So let's start. Rolling the dice gives me these choices. And like I said, as the active player, I'm going to be able to choose up to 3 of them. I think I'm going to start with pink to show you how pink works. So if I choose this pink die, the first spot in pink, you don't have a choice. You put the die there and you're going to get half of the amount. The way that pink works is you have to start on the left and you must fill in every single space from left to right. So when I choose this spot, you'll notice the die goes over here. That's the first die I used. And then it gives me half that amount. From here on out, every time I choose pink, I have a choice to make. Do I want to multiply the value of the die by what's on top and just take straight points? Or do I want the bonus, which is printed along the bottom of each of these spaces? If I take the bonus, I get the bonus, but then I have to take half of whatever the die is, and that's all the points that I get. Okay, so after I chose one die, I can, and then I should say your score in the end of the game for pink is the sum of all of these spaces. Okay, so you add all those up, that's your score for pink. All right, after I choose a die, I re-roll. And now I have these as my choices. I am going to choose white. Okay. So the deal with white, you notice it doesn't match up with the color here. The deal with white is that it's wild. So if I wanted to, I could use this as a yellow or a turquoise or a blue or a brown or a pink. It can be anything. I'm going to use it as a blue. Every time that you use something as blue, either the blue die or if you use the white as a blue die, you have to add the blue and the white die together. So, in this case, blue and white add up to be 7. In the blue section of the board, you start at the middle here, which is a 7, and then each subsequent space to the right has to be +1, or another 7. Each space to the left has to be -1 or another 7. So you can always put a 7 in. But since I'm starting with 7, the first thing I do has to either be a 7 or an 8 on this side or a 6 on this side. So I'm going to use the 2 as a blue, add it to the blue, which is 7, and I'm going to put that here. Okay, so the next thing I put here has to either be a 6 or a 7. The next thing I put here has to either be an 8 or a 7. Okay, notice there's no bonus underneath. So right now I don't get a bonus. Once I fill this in, I'll get a bonus. Once I fill these in, I'll get a bonus. Now another thing happened over here that you might have noticed. Since I chose a 2, I lose the opportunity to use any dice that are less than 2. So because I chose the 2, this being less than 2 goes onto the silver platter, and I no longer have that as an option. And for my last die, I have to choose among these 3. So I'm going to roll those. And my options are blue, yellow, and brown. Okay, I'm going to use yellow, and I'm going to explain to you how yellow works. So my only option for this 3 yellow is here. Even though there's a 3 here and a 3 here, since this is my third die, 1, 2, 3, it has to go in the third row of the yellow section. So I'm going to choose this 3. It has to go in the third row, and I'm going to mark that off. Now, the bonuses for yellow section, you work like this. You have to X off. So if I want to get this blue one here, I'd have to X off this 3. Once you've X'd off 2 squares that surround a bonus, then you get that bonus. In the end of the game, the way the scoring works for yellow is however many you've X'd off in a row, you will get that many points. So if I X off all 6, I'll get 42 points. That's in each row. So I could get another 42 here and another 42 here. So right now my score for yellow is 2 points, because that's all I have here is 1x in one of the rows. By the way, I didn't mention for blue, your score is printed up along the top here. So if I get all the way to the end here, I'll get 22 points. And if I get all the way to the end here, I'll get 22 points. Right now my score is 3 for blue, 2 points for yellow, and I have 1 point for pink. In the end, we're going to add up all of these points for pink, and that's going to be your score for pink. Okay, so I've chosen my 3 dice. Now, if I were playing this with other people, everyone else at the table would get to look at the turquoise, the blue, and the brown, and independently of one another, they could all choose the same one, they could all choose a different one, doesn't matter. They get to choose one of these dice and mark it off on their sheet. Because I'm playing a solo game, there's nothing for me to do with these 3 dice. So when I hit next, what happens is all 6 dice are going to get rolled, and the lowest 3 are going to be put on the platter. If there's a tie for lowest, the directions in the game say whichever die was physically closest to the silver platter of the tied dice will go on the platter. I don't know how the computer determines what it is, but when I hit next, it rolled all 6 dice, and it automatically put the 3 lowest on the platter. And now for the second half of round 1, my only action is choosing one of these 3 dice to put on my score sheet. I think I'm going to choose blue, because I'm going to keep going in my blue section. Remember, I'm looking for either an 8 or a 7 here. Because there's a blue 3, I have to add that to the white, and that's what gives me my 8. So I select this, I put it here. Notice I don't get any bonus for that, but now I have another 3 points in blue. Okay, and that will end the first round. So that was one entire round of play. When I hit next, we're going to X off the second round, and I'm going to get another bonus, and I'll explain what that does. Okay. So the new bonus I have, which is tracked right here, in addition to the reroll bonus that I got in the first round, this new bonus is a +1. So when I'm finished rolling as the active player and I've chosen all 3 dice, I could activate any of the 6 dice again by using this +1 bonus. That's what that does. If you're the passive player and you want to use a +1, you can do that as well. After you've chosen your die from the silver platter, you can use a +1 to again choose any of the 6 dice. All right, so second round, here's the roll. I'm kind of waiting for brown to come up as a 1 before I tell you what brown does. So I think what I'm going to do is use the 2 as a yellow. Okay, and what that means is because it's the first die, goes in this first spot here, I have to cross off the number in the first row of yellow. So I'm going to cross off that 2, and now I re-roll. And as luck would have it, I got another 2 yellow. Now this is my second die, so I have to cross off the 2 in the second row, if that's what I choose to do. I think I'm going to do that. Now when I cross this off, this bonus becomes available, and then I guess I can explain what that bonus does. So I click that, and notice over here it gives me the bonus. It's a 3. The first one I get is a 3. The next one I get will be a 4, 5, 6, and then these can be anything. So basically what this does is when I choose a die, I can change the value of it. So I can, right now, my only option is to change the value of any of the die that I want to a 3. You don't physically change the die, the orientation of the die. You just pretend that it's that particular number. Okay, I'm going to hit roll again. And I think I'm going to choose, I think I'll choose pink again. And I'm just going to take the points. So what I do is I click up here to show that I'm going to take 2 times 1 points for pink. Okay, now again, if we were playing against other players, they would get a choice of die here. Now, this +1, I have that available to me, right? Like, I've chosen my 3 dice, I'm done rolling. So if I wanted to, I could hit this +1 and use again any of these 6 dice. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save it for later. So I'm going to hit next. The computer rolls all 6 dice and gives me the lowest 3. Now, I'm going to use yellow because I want to explain what these gray boxes do in yellow. Remember that if it's the first die I choose as an active player, it has to go in the first row. If it's the second die I choose, yellow, it goes in the second. If it's the third die I choose, it goes in the third row. If you ever pull a yellow die from the silver platter, it has to go in one of the gray spaces. So my only option for using this one is to put it here. Now, if I wanted to, I could use this bonus and make this one into a 3. I do not see a need to do that, so I'm going to save that bonus. I'm going to put the 1 right here. Okay, now here again, I have my +1 bonus if I wanted to reuse the 1 or this pink or this brown, or 6 is a pretty high number, so maybe I want to use my +1 with this white die, which would give me a wild that I could put anywhere. Do I want to do that? I think I'm going to save it. All right, so round 2 complete. On to round 3. So notice the bonus I get in round 3 is this second change the number bonus. So now I have a 3 and a 4 available to me. Okay, there's my 1 for brown. So let's explain brown. Brown has to be filled in from left to right, but you are allowed to skip any number of spaces you want to, but you can never go back to them. So like if I took this brown 1 and put it here, I'd be forfeiting all of these other spaces. So I'm going to take this brown 1, I'm going to put it here. That X's that off. And now the way the bonuses work in brown is anytime I surround a bonus, I will get that bonus. So if I can come up with a brown 5 for here, I will get this bonus. And then a brown 3 will give me this bonus if I've crossed off the 5. Points for brown are along the top here. So however far I get is however many points I get for brown. Okay, so that's my first die. Let's roll here. Oh, pink 1, a yellow 1. I think I will take the yellow 1 and put it here. It's my second die, so it has to go in the second row. And when I do this, it's going to give me this bonus because I've surrounded it. So I click on that. Now, if I want to change the number of a die, I have 3 options for doing that. I can make anything I want, a 3, a 4, or a 5. Okay, I'm going to re-roll. And let's see. I think I will use let's keep going in blue here. So remember, I either need a 9 or a 7. So I'll take the 3. And anytime you use blue or white as a blue, you add the blue and the white together. So this will be 9, and that gives me another re-roll bonus. Okay, now here if I wanted to, I could use my +1 for any of these 6. I am not going to do that, so I'm going to hit next. and I get to choose one of these three. Okay, let me explain how turquoise works. If I choose a turquoise die then from the platter, then I look at the platter, and if there are any matching number on any of the other die on the platter, I get to X off another space of that number in turquoise. So choosing this turquoise 3 is going to allow me to cross off any one of these 3s. Then because there's another 3 on the platter, I will get to cross off another 3. So the way the bonuses work in turquoise is that once you've crossed off everything turquoise, you get the bonus. So I only need these 3 3s. I only need those 3 3s to get this yellow bonus. I only need these 2 turquoise to get this turquoise bonus. To get the fox bonus, I would need all 6. To get the +1 bonus, I would need all 5. Then the way points work in turquoise is you look at the total number of squares you've crossed off, just like in yellow, and you get that many points per row. So if I can manage to cross off all 6 in every row, I'd get 21 points per row. Okay, so let's take this. I'm going to take this 3, and then notice it's telling me I get another one because I have a die of the matching number, and I'm going to take this one. Okay, and I'm hoping to fill in these and these to get these bonuses eventually. Okay, so that was the passive part of round 3. Do I want to use a +1 for anything? Yeah, I think I am going to use a +1 because we're midway through the game. I'm probably going to get some other +1s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to +1 the blue, because the blue and the white add up to be 10, and that's the next number I need here. So that's going to give me a brown bonus, which I'm going to apply right away. So let me put that in there. Brown bonus means I get to just X off the next thing in brown, and that's going to give me that bonus. So now I can change any die to a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. Now another thing to notice about blue is down here, it shows me anytime I use a 10, 11, or a 12, or a 2, a 3, or a 4, I get an additional 4 points. So right now my points in blue are 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 4 for this 10. So I've got 16 in blue. All right, I'm going to hit next, go to the 4th round, and the bonus for the 4th round is I get to mark off anything I want. So if I want to mark off the next thing in pink, I'll consider this to be a 6 pink, or I could cross off anything I want. I can consider this to be an 11 for blue, or it could be 6 for blue. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to use it as brown, which is going to give me a pink bonus. So I use it as brown to get a pink bonus. Then I'm going to use the pink bonus to get a blue bonus. And then the blue, I think I'm going to keep going on this side, because when that fills in as an 11, I'm going to get an additional 4 points. So I'm going to take that as an 11. Okay, so there was a little combo action there. And that's before I even rolled the dice for the round. So, okay, roll the dice. And here are my options. So yellow doesn't help me, a yellow 2 doesn't help me, a brown 2 doesn't help me unless I want to skip the 4. I think I will skip the 4 because I don't really care about this reroll. So I'm going to skip the 4. Notice the pink goes on the platter because 1 is less than 2. Okay, then I'm going to roll. And I have a 1. Wild or a 1 plus 1. Nope, that doesn't help me. If I choose the 5, I lose all the rest of my dice, and I won't get a 3rd roll. So I don't want to choose that 5. I think let's use the bonus here. the change the number bonus. So let's make this white into a 6 and use it as brown to get me a turquoise bonus. So I select the die I want, I come down here, I say I want it to be a 6, and I'm going to consider it to be brown. So I do that, gives me a turquoise bonus, which I'm going to use up here because that will give me a yellow bonus, which I'm going to use here to give me a blue bonus, which I'm going to use here to get me another turquoise bonus, which I'm going to use here. Okay, for my third die, I'm going to, okay, let's do turquoise again. I explained how turquoise worked when it was on the platter. It works similarly when you're the active player. So if I choose this 2, I'm going to get to mark off one of these 2s. Then because one or both of my previous dice were 2s, I'm going to get another 2. So I'm going to choose this to mark off, I guess, this one. And because this previous die was a 2, I get to mark off another 2. And I guess I'm going to mark off this one. Okay, so that's all 3 dice. I don't have a +1 bonus, so all I can do is hit next. And then these are my options, which I don't love. I think I will change the number on something. So what do I need? I need a brown 4. So let's choose brown. Let's change it to 4 and mark that off. So now I've got, I don't remember how the points work for brown if I skip spaces. Do I have 35 or do I only have 27? I guess we'll find out in the end. Okay, so now rounds 5 and 6, I don't get any additional bonuses. So let's see what happens. I think I've explained how everything works. So we'll just keep going. Let's see what I can do here. So a yellow 1, I think, or a pink 2. I'm going to take the pink 2. Oh, I know what I haven't explained. I haven't explained foxes. So if I get a fox, I'll explain that. So I'm going to take the pink 2, which is going to eliminate these 2, which I don't like because that really limits my options for the rest. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the yellow 1 and I'm going to mark it here. That gives me a reroll bonus. Okay. Now this I like because I get my 5 brown. So I'm going to use my 5 brown, which is going to give me a +1. I lose the 4 because it was less than 5. Third roll. Okay, I'm going to, I don't know if I'd normally do this, but I want to explain foxes. So I'm going to make the 5 into a 3 so that I have 7 that I can put here. So I'm going to put that here. So I get 7, and now I have 1 fox. So at the end of the game, you're going to get a score for yellow, a score for turquoise, a score for blue, a score for brown, and a score for pink. Whichever of those 5 scores is your lowest, you will get that amount for every fox that you acquire during the game. Okay? So if my lowest, like right now, my lowest is down here, it's 6 in pink. I only have 6 points in pink. So every fox I acquire during this game, at the end of the game, is going to give me 6 points. That's how that works. Okay, now do I want to use a +1? Knowing how bad pink is, I think I do. So I'm going to use my +1 to grab this pink. I'm going to take the bonus, so I get another +1. Now notice the X here. I've already used a +1 on pink, so I can't again. But I could if I wanted to use the +1 on some of these other ones. 4 would be a good one because I get 2 squares, 1 for this and 1 because there's another 4. But do I want to do that? Sure, let's do it. So I'm going to choose this 4. I'm going to mark off this one, and then for my bonus, I'm going to mark off this one, which completes all of these turquoise spots, which gives me another bonus. And now this number can be anything I want. Okay, so that's all I can do. I don't have any more +1s. So we go to the second half of the round where I'm the passive player. I'm going to, I think I'm going to use the 1 turquoise. 1 is a turquoise because notice there's a 1 here, so I'm going to get 2. And I'm going to get 2 bonuses, this brown bonus and this turquoise bonus. So let's start with the brown bonus, which it'll give me in a minute after I choose my turquoise for having the same. And I'm going to use it for this. So there's the brown, and I also get a turquoise because I just finished those off. So, and now I get a blue as well. So now it's asking me, what do I want for my turquoise bonus? I'll take this. I'm not going to get all those, so I'll take that. And lastly, my blue bonus, which will be that, which gives me another one of those. So I have a lot of flexibility going into this last round. Okay, last round. Here we go. So yellow 2 doesn't help me, but I could make it a 5. I could make it anything I wanted, actually. So maybe this will get me another pink. Sure. Let's make this 2. Or do I want a turquoise bonus? Because a turquoise bonus would get me a pink bonus if I fill this in. Oh, but I can't put this 2 here because it's my first yellow die. It has to go in the top row. Shoe. I could make it a 3. I'm going to make it a 3. So I'm going to make it 3. I have 2 wild bonuses, so I'm going to use one of them to make this a 3. Put it here to get a pink bonus. I guess I'll take the half points, which gives me another of those. Oh, and I just earned another pink bonus because I filled in all of those. So I'm going to use that here to get another yellow, which will get me a turquoise, which will get me +1. And now I have a +1 that I can use. Okay, so second die. Should we do some more pink to get a brown? I think so. I'm going to use pink to get a brown bonus, which will go here. And third one, I get brown, which is great because that's put me up to 77 points. I think I'm going to do it. So that's going to give me a yellow, which I'm going to put here. Now, notice the yellow bonus, I can put it anywhere. There's no restriction, like there is if I'm pulling it from the platter or pulling it from over here. So I'm going to put it here because I want to also get this. And is there a way I can do that though? Yikes, maybe there's not. So maybe that was a mistake. Well, let's see. Do I want to +1 anything? No, a 2 wouldn't help me. This 6, I hate to pass up this 6 with a +1. 6 and 3 is 9, but I could change it. I'm going to do that. Yeah, and then I'm going to get this yellow. So I'm going to change this to I'm going to change this to a 4. So that they add up to be 7? Wait. No, I should make this a 5 if I can. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this a 2. Now these add up to be 5, which is going to give me a yellow bonus, which I'm going to use to get me another brown, which is going to finish my browns. Now I have 2 foxes. And that's that. Can't do anything else, so I get my last pick from here. I can change the number of one of these. I could get another pink. I think I'm going to do that. Another pink. Or I could get, yeah. And how am I getting that pink? By taking this 2. I'm going to take this 2. And that's going to give me a pink. And then the pink I can apply, and I'm going to apply it as points here. And that is the end of the game. So before I show you my score, I should be getting, I should be getting 12 for this first row, 20 for this second row, and 20 for this third row. So that would be my yellow score. Here I'm getting 6. Here I'm getting 15. Here I'm getting 6. Here I'm getting 3. I'm getting 9 here and 22 here, plus 4 for the 10, 4 for the 11, 4 for the 12. I'm getting 90 for brown, and I'm getting 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3, whatever that is. And then whatever my lowest of those 5 is, I get that 2 more times because I acquired 2 foxes. So I hit next. Gives me a score of 268, which is probably pretty good. For me, it's good. I mean, I think if you look at the rule book, something around 450 for a solo game is the best. So this is nowhere near the best, but it's good. So hope that's helpful in learning how to play the game. Any questions you have, you can put them on the forum and Board Game Geek. And thanks for watching.